Hi, and welcome to the trombone maintenance and care video. Before you open your trombone case, you're going to want to make sure that the top of the case is facing up. For many of you, you will have a logo on your case indicating this. Another way you can check is depending on the style of latches you have. If you have this style of latch where there's the little ring that pops down, some of you have the type of latch that flips up. Make sure you know what type of latch you have so that your instrument doesn't fall out of the case. Set your case down on the ground and open it up. Take out the bell section of your case, of your instrument. We're going to put 2 thumbs at this top tuning slide and push up, then grab from the crook and from this brace and finish removing it. Next, take out your cleaning rag, an old t-shirt with just a section of it cut out, an old sock, washcloth, anything like that is fine. You don't have to buy a special cloth for this job. You're going to wipe off all of the old grease, and you'll see that it's really gross. There's a lot of dirt and black and green and brown grime inside of that. That's why we don't want to buy something too special for this. The next thing you'll do is take out your your tuning slide grease. Use the Super Slick brand. Sometimes it's a blue label, sometimes it's a red label. Open it up and apply tuning slide grease to the tuning slide, wiping it evenly all around it. Find the small side and match it up to the other small side, insert it in, and then work it in there just a little bit. Then match the big side to the other big side, doing the same thing. We don't want to insert it all at once. We want to do one side at a time so that it inserts easier. You'll notice that one side is longer than the other. Each trombone is a little bit different. Put it back together. Sometimes it requires just a little bit of finagling, and then you're going to pull it down evenly. Make sure that you're not doing this horizontally, because you can put pressure on the braces that's not good for the instrument and can pop those braces. You can also put this in crooked, tilted one direction or the other, and it makes it difficult to use from that point on. Push it all the way in. And you might have some grease gush out of the sides, which is fine. Just take your rag, wipe it off. That way it doesn't get on your clothes when you go to play. And then pull out the slide about 1/4 inch. Your slides are actually not meant to be pushed in all the way. Put the bell part of your trombone back into the case and take out the slide portion of your instrument. Unlock your slide and pull it out. It'll now be in 2 pieces. You have the outer stocking and the inner stocking. Put the outer stocking back into the case. Your trombone slide is very, very fragile, so we want to make sure that it's in its case so that nothing happens to it. Once those get damaged, it's really hard. It's a little expensive to repair them, and they have to get repaired right away. You should never play with a slide that has even just the smallest little ding in it, because it's super bad and it will damage further down the slide. Take your rag and wipe off all of the old cream along with all the other gross stuff that ends up on our slide. And next you're going to take your trombone. Your trombone will come in a box when you purchase it, but what you'll see is this little tube. Kind of looks like toothpaste, but it's not toothpaste, so don't put that on your instrument. And don't use this as toothpaste for your mouth. And you're going to put about a kernel of corn size amount on each slide, and then spread it down the slide. and then work it in. So it's kind of like sunscreen. You want to get that white filmy appearance. Whoops. Get that white filmy appearance to disappear as much as you can. If you use too much, that's a bad thing because it's going to make your slide very gunky and the white stuff will never disappear. After you've worked that in, you're going to take your outer stocking. Make sure you line up the slide block with the slide block railing. Insert one. This will transfer the grease to your outer stocking. Insert the other. Put your outer stocking back into the case. Take your cleaning rag again, and this time you're going to lightly wipe down. So it's not like before we were trying to get everything off. Right now we're just trying to get off the excess amount, last remaining little bits of cream that are there that has that kind of white appearance. The next thing you will do is get a spray bottle of water. You want to get one of those little mini ones because it's going to fit inside of your case. And you will mist down your trombone slide. You get those just in the travel section at the grocery store or wherever else you buy those types of things. And then we put it all back together. And you'll find that your slide moves really, really smoothly now. If it doesn't, that means that there is a dent in there somewhere and we need to have that removed. What has happened is we have our outer stocking and our inner stocking, and we've coated each one with grease, and those water droplets, it'll float right on top of them. That's what makes the slide move so good with that product. To assemble your trombone, you're going to double check that your slide is locked. Put this on your shoulder so that the bell is facing out. It shouldn't be towards your face. The other side. Now take your slide and you'll see that longer receiver end. Insert it there. Drop it down like this. If you do it horizontal, because sometimes it's tricky, maybe do that just your first time to learn how to do it. Okay? So now that it's flat, we're going to turn it up and then lock it.
Good evening, parents. Your A-hour class is over and everyone can go on to their first hour. If you are welcome to our open house curriculum night, please head to your first hour at this time.
The final thing that you'll need to do is to clean out your mouthpiece. So you're going to get your mouthpiece brush, get some water, not hot water, just warm enough to touch, and then some liquid dish soap like Dawn. You use this in your sink.
Good evening and welcome to Stapley Junior High's curriculum night. I'm Mr. Fisher, the principal here. We have planned a mini school day for you. So we will follow your child's schedule. We have allotted 10 minutes for each class period with a 5-minute passing time. During your passing period, come visit our booster club that's located outside the library. I hope you enjoy your evening and thanks for coming. Again, first hour starts at 6 p.m. Thank you.
We're going to take this mouthpiece brush with some warm water, not hot enough that it burns your hand, and liquid Dawn dish soap, and insert it into the shank end, that's the skinny end, as well as into the cup end. It should never push all the way through. There's a good chance that it'll get stuck if you do that. Rinse it out. You should be cleaning your mouthpiece a couple times a month. If you look down it and you see that there's little cruddy things in there, if you run your finger in here and it feels like sandpaper, you've waited way too long. Your hand slide, this needs to be done once per week. Your back tuning slide, 1 or 2 times per month. More if you're a junior high student because you will be using this tuning slide frequently on a daily basis and we need to make sure that it moves properly. That's everything for trombone maintenance and care.